Hi everybody, my name is Michael. I'm with Micronova, the company that manufactures the Amplipro, which I have right here in front of me. I'm going to do a little quick walkthrough of how to set up the Amplipro, and then we're going to do a quick user interface walkthrough as well. So real quick, we have the Amplipro right here. It has the QR code on the front to also show you how to set it up, but if you're at this video, you won't need to do that. Here we have the back of the Amplipro. I'm going to talk about each port real quick. We have the power, we have the service USB. This is in case you need to reflash your Pi, very rarely used. We have two USB ports, an auxiliary in port, the Ethernet network in. Then we have four source RCA jacks. These are the inputs. We have a chain out, that is a ribbon cable that connects to an expander unit that can expand this box to up to 36 more zones, or let me rephrase that. This ribbon cable out can expand to another expander unit which has 6 more zones on top of these 6 that already exist, all the way up to 36. So then here we have the Euroblock connectors for the speaker out. So we have 6 zones, these power passive speakers, and then we have 6 more RCA outs that correspond to the zone, and these can power, not power, but they can give audio signals to active speakers or a subwoofer. So just to show you a few things, we are first going to connect our internet, the Ethernet cable here, right here. So now that this is connected to our internet, we can play Spotify, Pandora, internet radio. We also have an auxiliary in. You have a friend over that wants to plug their phone in, or if this connects to a record player or something else that you have in your home, this is another input source. Then we have a USB drive. You could put audio files on here and you could play music from your USB drive. Then lastly, where'd it go? Here it is. We have our RCA jacks on another record player, or you could hook this up to your TV as well and play audio from your TV source. So these are the inputs. Then we also have the outputs here. So this is a Euroblock connector that can power some passive speakers up to 6 zones. We're going to use the same RCA jack here, plug it in here. So it's pretty versatile, it has a lot of options. I'll flip it around, and I have the power cable here that I'm going to plug into the power jack. And then, well, make sure your power's on. Then the light is going to flash for probably about 30 seconds while this boots up. And the e-ink display here is also going to flash and show Micronova. Eventually it'll show you your serial number and any other information relevant to the Amplipro. It's going to show you the IP address for your Amplipro and other information like that. Thanks, guys. Okay, we're going to look at the setup for the Amplipro. First, this is the first screen that you're going to see, which is the home screen. There's nothing set up on it right now. So we have 4 buttons here. We have the home button, the plus button, which is an add stream. We have the presets and the settings. So first, let's check out the select stream or the add stream button. So we have nothing set up. It defaults to Groove Salad, which is an internet radio station. You have your 4 RCA inputs and the aux input. So if we select Groove Salad, then it has us select which of the 6 zones we would like to play it from, or we could play it from all of them if we wished. So we select that. Now we have a stream. Here we can adjust the volume, we can mute it, we can also go back and add and remove zones as we wish. Also, a 5th button popped up here, which is the player button. We have multiple zones, so we can individually adjust their volumes here. So that is what the player button does. The home button always takes us back to home. If we have another stream set up here, we can have both streams, and this is input 1 muted from zone 6. This is zone 1 plus 2 more, which is 2 and 4, or 2 and 5, which is pretty neat. And the player individually takes you to whichever zone you have selected. Kind of great. Presets we will get to later. So the next button is going to be the settings button, which is everything else. How to set up streams, how to set up your zones, groups, presets, configuration updates, and about. So, all right, first we're going to look at streams. These are the default streams that we have available. If we click on any one of these, we can edit the name. So instead of input 1, we can say TV. Input 2, we could name to record player. Okay. So we kind of know how that works. Groove Salad, we could edit this. And Groove Salad specifically is an internet radio station. So if we click here, the add stream, or the select stream type, internet radio station, that's what Groove Salad is. But we have all of these other options for stream types. So Spotify, Pandora, File Player, etc. First, I want to jump into internet radio station, which Groove Salad is. It does a search of a radio database. So let's do punk. So if we search punk, like the top 10 results for this internet radio database that has free streams available online is what it searches. So we can, search punk. So if we select it, it auto-populates the name, the radio station URL, and it adds it as a stream that is available for me to play. So then I would have to close that out. This is just doing the configuration and setup for the streams. And then if I add a new stream, Russian punk rock is one of the ones that are available. So now we're streaming Russian punk rock. So just, sorry, going ahead to zones there, but no. So one more time, internet radio. Let's type in Beyonce. Oops. And exclusively Beyonce, that's a radio station that is available, and we have that radio station set up. We can also come here and delete the radio station if we wish. That is internet radio. All right, so we've added an internet radio station. Now let's add a Spotify device. So let's name a Spotify station. Let's go with, we can name it whatever we want. So synthwave, and you can play whatever you want on the synthwave station. So again, it's just a configuration. So if we go back here, we can add, again, select our zones that we want to add it to, add our synthwave station, and we have to go onto our device, whether it be our phone or tablet or whatever that has Spotify on it. And as long as we're connected to the same internet, that should be an option available in the lower left of devices that you would like to play your Spotify stream to. It's pretty nifty. Okay, so these are the streams that we have set up. So we've done Spotify, we've done internet radio, we've changed the name of our RCAs. If we do an AirPlay device, let's say iPhone 2, and it's defaulted to regular AirPlay. If we want to select AirPlay 2, this is an option. And close that out. We go back to our home screen. let's get rid of a few of these streams just so it's not as busy. And then we select, so I'm doing this from a computer instead of an actual phone, so I can record this for you. So we would just need to connect from our phone, which if your iPhone is connected to the internet here, you should have no issue making this happen. All right, streams. Then we have Pandora. We can type in our username and password for Pandora, and then from there you can name this the Pandora station, and it'll default to, if you don't have a station ID in mind, it'll default to the kind of the for you that Pandora creates based off of your listening. If you have a specific station, like Nirvana Radio, for example, the Pandora station, that's not showing up. All right. So I have pulled the tab down and you can see the URL. It's a pandora.com station / a whole bunch of numbers. This license plate is their Nirvana radio station. So you just take these numbers, copy it, and paste it into the station ID. It's just those numbers. So here we've already done that, and that will create the Nirvana radio station for you. And that works with any other station. Just all those numbers will be that station. Oh, and I need to log in, but I'm not going to log in for this example right here. All right, let's look at the other options. So we've done AirPlay. We'll do DLNA later. That is a deeper dive. Same thing with LMS. That is Lyrian Media Server or Logitech Media Server. We'll do that later as well. So we have two that we haven't covered, which are Media Device and File Player. Media Device, that's basically, you can put a USB stick full of audio files on here, and you'll be able to play music from your USB stick. And then File Player, this will play files, the audio files from a URL. So for example, here we have at like nasa.gov, we have an audio file as an example that you can type in here and it'll play that file. So this is really good for podcasts. Like if you go to like an NPR website, oftentimes you can just play the file from their website, stream it directly. So you'd be able to pop that in for a stream option here. I think that about covers the streams minus the deep dives on DLNA and LMS. Let's move on. Okay, zones. Here's our zone page, all 6 that we have. And if you pop open one of these, you can change the name of the zone. So let's do that. Let's say zone 1 is the kitchen. If I could spell kitchen. All right, we have the kitchen. Let's say we have parties, we want to blast the volume, but we do a lot of work in the kitchen. We don't necessarily want it to be so loud in there. So we can set the max volume to a -20. So if you turn the volume all the way up, it will never go all the way up in the kitchen. And that's zone 1. So zone 2, let's say that's the patio outside. Again, we can adjust the volume if we want. And then we could go to zone 3. But here's the thing. I didn't hit apply. So you have to hit apply. Otherwise, it's not going to take your adjustments. So we could change the names of all of the zones that we want. Adjust the volume as necessary. We could even disable it if we wanted to. These are This is what zones do. Next, we have groups. If we open groups here, there's nothing. Let's create a new group. Let's create a group called upstairs. So what this does is it groups zones together. So we can do the bedroom, zone 4, 5, zone 4 and 5. And we have the upstairs zone that has been created, or a group, I'm sorry, group that has been created. And then let's create a new one with downstairs. So kitchen, patio, and zone 6, right? Complete. We have the downstairs. Let's create another group. And we'll call this one whole house. And you can do any sort of combination of these zones into groups. That's groups. Okay, so here we have our TV zone set up, Russian punk rock playing downstairs, synth wave playing upstairs. Let's save that. Let's save the volume settings we have and everything that we have playing. And we're gonna name this Tuesday night. This is what we like to do on Tuesday nights. Listen to Russian punk rock and synthwave. So whenever we want to have that set up, we have it saved here in the presets. Let's create another preset. Let's call it Getting Ready. And you know what? Let's have some fun with it. I'm going to find another stream. Nope. I'm going to find another stream. Let's do some internet radio here. Let's do something upbeat and cheery. Let's go with some disco house, right? Oh no. Let's just go with disco. Why do they hate disco house? All right, disco ball, 70s and 80s radio. All right, let's go back home here. Let's close out everything. We're creating an entirely new preset here. And I want to play disco house in the whole house. And we're going to save this preset. Select everything that is playing on. And we're going to call this Getting Ready. Getting ready for going out. So, going out to party, going out for the night. We can set the whole house to disco pretty easily. Let's do another one. This one we'll do an oh gosh. Oh, we just made everything bigger. That's fine. We're gonna close this out, and instead of disco house, we're gonna do groove salad, some soft ambient music throughout the whole house. We're gonna save this preset, and we're gonna call this Sunday morning. Can't type. There we go. We select all the zones it's going to be in, and we have a new preset. So now, go back to our home screen, select our presets. Let's go back to Tuesday night. And that's the volumes that we had set, that's everything. So we can even change this volume, like let's mute everything. Stop. Come on, listen to me. My mouse is being a little goofy right now. We'll go back to Getting Ready. So it's the whole house, it's playing disco. These zones are still here, it's just it has them turned off. And let's go back to Tuesday night and it has the volume saved we had everything muted, but in this preset, it saves the volumes, it saves the zones and everything. It's pretty awesome. You can create as many presets as you want, and you can toggle back and forth between music settings. So game day, you could stream the audio you have coming out of your TV to your bathroom and your patio. So if anyone goes outside for a cigarette or has to go to the bathroom, they don't have to miss the next greatest sports play. All right, let's go back. I figured out the sizing adjustment. So groups, we're gonna look at configuration real quick. This is just gonna be a quick rundown. So upload config. Had we downloaded the config, we could do that, but if we download the config, it'll save it to my device, whether it's my phone that I'm on or my computer. It'll save the current configuration, which is all my presets, all my streams that I have configured, and then I can choose select here, and I can choose the file of my config. So if I want to reset it, let's just do that. Yes, let's reset our config. Give it a second for a little circle guide to do the thing. Everything's reset. We go back here, we have nothing. Everything that we have set up is done. So let's go back to config. We can upload it. So then we select upload. And we go back, and everything's back to normal. So this resets it to your default settings. Lyrian Media Server, that is a deeper dive video. We can talk about that in another video. Reset hardware, that will, it's not a full reboot of the machine, but it'll reset the controllers and the streams, but it's not going to reset the Pi itself. That's what hardware reboot does. And then hardware shutdown is just going to turn the device off. So that is config. All right, updates. We have a couple tabs here, latest. So our system is up to date. If it wasn't up to date, there would be a button down here that would say it's not up to date. Click the update button. Older releases, you can go, if your update's acting goofy or something, we could go back to an older update, or you can find your pre-releases here, but these are all the old versions of Amplify. Custom, we can again upload a custom configuration here. If you want to, it's open source. If you want to write your own and mess around with that, you can do that here. Set password, so you can password lock the Amplify. Let's do 123, update password. Password is set. And come on, buddy. Why are you acting goofy? Hold on. I was acting goofy because I missed the back to app button. All right, so it's asking for a password, 123. We have a password. So if you don't want your kids blaring music when you're not around or whatever, you can password lock it. So we can also remove the password just by not typing in anything, and our password is updated. So back to app, which is the button that I lost, and no more password. Again, back to updates, support tunnel. Let's talk about that. All right, here's what it's going to look like if your device is not up to date. I'll have a little start update button here at the bottom, and it'll update you to the latest version. Here's the rundown of what are in the new updates. Okay, let's click on support tunnel here. So the support tunnel, it's an easy, secure way for us here at Micronova to access your Amplipro. So if you're having problems, we can remote in and examine and potentially fix anything wrong with your unit. So all you have to do is hit this request support tunnel button. And when you do that, in this little dialog box, it's going to create this very long license plate, the tunnel ID here. You just copy and paste that and email it to support@micronova.com. You don't have to worry if you create this, if nobody has that key, nobody can get into your unit. So if you're not having any issues, you don't have to worry about this, but it's a good way for us to look at your logs or anything goofy that your device might be doing. After 2 weeks, this ID expires. So even if somebody had this ID, they wouldn't be able to access your device after 14 days. It's a neat little piece of cryptography that allows us to get into the unit only with that key. It's pretty nice. Okay, last one here, the About button. So this has a bunch of links. Here's Amplipro, the store, Micronova, our company, what version of software you're running, what version of firmware you're running. If you're not up to date, these two numbers will not match. Here's the access key that we created to support tunnel into the unit here. And then links to our API, our GitHub, our discourse forums, our license, and then the logs, which is very useful. You can copy and paste these logs and send them to Micronova, again, if you're having any issues. This lets us know what the machine is doing. So yeah, that is essentially every single button on this unit.